All right, welcome to MMA Al Dente. I'm your host, Billy V. I'm here to talk to you about tomorrow night's event, UFC Fight Night, whatever the fuck, Lewis versus Daukaus. It's going to be a pretty good event. I mean, I can't say these will be the most exciting fights, but I think they will be. And look, if you're a die-hard MMA fan, you're probably looking forward to this card because from top to bottom, I just see really good fights. If you're a casual MMA fan, then you're probably looking forward to Darren Elkins versus Cub Swanson more than anything. I want to say that's the people's main event. Well, you're probably looking forward to Lewis versus Daukaus. But after that, Elkins versus Swanson. I say that's the people's main event. And look, I'm not knocking anybody, but you're casuals or whatever. It's my main event. Darren Elkins is my favorite fighter on the fucking planet. And I am more excited for that fight than any other one on the card. But just looking through the card here, man, it's going to be a great night. You know, you've got Lewis versus Daukaus, which I think everybody has in their head. That's going to be a knockout one way or the other. Belal Muhammad versus Wonderboy Thompson. Could be a more tactical affair, but still, it's going to be an interesting fight between two top 10 or top 15. I think they're both top 10 fighters at welterweight. You can't go wrong with two top 10 welterweights. Amanda Lemos versus Angela Hill. Drop my notepad. Angela Hill. She's going up against one of the best prospects in the division here, Amanda Lemos. I think Amanda Lemos made a big statement in her last fight, and in all of her UFC fights, even her loss to Leslie Smith, which I think was on short notice. But that's a great fight. Just if you're looking at it as the Amanda Lemos show, you're focused on her career. Who do you matchmake her with? Angela Hill is that test you have to pass. She's the Magni of the division. You have to pass that test to get to that next level. And she, it's a passable test, but she's also a really good fighter in her own right, Angela Hill. She's not just some journeyman or journeywoman. She's capable of beating, I want to say any fighter in the world, but not really. I think Tisha Torres put a stamp on that in her last fight, the win in the rematch. But still, Angela Hill, she's a bona fide UFC fighter, and this is a test Lemos needs to pass. Rafael Assuncao versus Ricky Simon. That fight is, again, I want to say Assuncao is like the Magni of his division, even beyond Magni. Because, Assuncao beaten champions. Magni beat Hendricks, actually. But Assuncao's beaten champions. He's been a perennial top 5 fighter, he was for a long time, but, kind of fallen off a little bit the last few years. But he's still, I think he's top 10. He's a top fighter, and it's a test that Ricky Simon needs to pass. Ricky Simon, a lot of people are high on him. Let me get my leg out of frame there. You don't have to see that fucking thing. Ricky Simon, a lot of fans are high on him. I'm really high on him. I just love his gas tank. He's he is a fucking tank. CDF, Carlos Diego Ferreira versus Mateusz Gamrot. That, I want to say, is the hardcore fans' fight of the night. That's the hardcore fans' main event. And it's going to be a really good fight. I can't wait to see how it unfolds. Darren Elkins versus Cub Swanson. That's the casual fans' main event, and that's my main event. Not that I'm a casual fan, but Elkins happens to be my favorite fucking fighter on the planet. Gerald Meerschaert versus Dustin Stolzfous. Gerald Meerschaert, I want to say he's my favorite middleweight on the planet. Just, he's not the best, never going to be the best, but he's going to have some really good fucking wins, as he did in his last fight. One of the best wins of the year. I mean, literally, if I had to name my 3 best wins of the year, I think it's Meerschaert versus Muradov, Julian Erosa versus Charles Jourdain, who's fighting down the card, and Juliana Pena versus Amanda Nunes. I also liked Elkins versus Minner, but that's, again, because he's my favorite fighter. All right, yeah, Meerschaert versus Stolzfous is the main event of the prelims. And then the rest of the card looks like Barcelos versus Victor Henry. That's going to be a good fight. Victor Henry, I don't know too much about, but he's got an astounding record. Looks really tough to put away. Taking this fight on short notice, and Barcelos is one of the top 40-year-old prospects in the UFC. That guy, I don't know. Hopefully he gets a nice win here and he can really, plot out the rest of his career because time's ticking. Justin Tafa versus Harry Hunsucker. All right. Sajara Eubanks versus Melissa Gatto. That's a good fight. Sajara Eubanks is a staple in her division, and Melissa Gatto is one of the top prospects in that division. Even if you haven't heard of her, and even if you've seen her fight in the last time in the UFC, and you're still like, I don't know. She took out Victoria Leonardo. This girl tapped out Carol Hossa in the first round. She's dangerous, and I'm really looking forward to that one. Charles Jourdain versus Andre Ewell. That's going to be a really fun fight. Really will be. Andre Ewell has a tendency to slow things down, hiding behind the jab and whatever, and being more of a tactical fighter, which is a euphemism for boring. It's not going to happen in this fight. He's moving up in weight, and he's taking on a technical brawler in Charles Jourdain. And mark my words, this fight will be reduced to a brawl. Charles Jourdain is going to win it, too. Whatever. Pennington versus Chiasson. Raquel Pennington, again, she's like... whoever, Sajara and Assuncao, and just one of these staples of the division. She's like that test you have to pass if you want to move on up. And which, in the fight world is called a gatekeeper. A lot of people don't consider that like a derogatory term, and I do too. But not when you're talking about the gate to the top 10 or the top 5, which is really what like Raquel is like. Then there's no problem being a gatekeeper. Macy Chiasson, I'm really high on her. She's the Ultimate Fighter season whatever the fuck winner. She's really big, really strong, and this fight was just moved from 135 to 145, so she's going to be bigger and stronger. Dontel Mays versus Josh Parisienne. I'll watch it. Yeah. Gotta say, that's one of my least favorite fights on the card after Tafa versus Hunsucker. Disappointing heavyweight fights, but still. These are fights that need to take place so we can find out who's who and move someone on up on the ladder. And Matt Sayles versus Jordan Leavitt. I think that one's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun. Can't say it's going to be a finish in the fight, but it's going to be a fun grappling fight. And when they're striking, it's going to be fun and sloppy. All right. As for the predictions, I'll just go through them top to bottom. I've got Derek Lewis winning via late TKO in round 2 or round 1, which neither one of those is late, but I mean late in the round. I think Chris Daukaus, he's obviously quicker. He's got knockout power. He's got 4 victories, all 4 knockouts in the UFC. But Derek Lewis is tough as fuck. He's big, he's strong, and he's always deadly. I think Chris Daukaus is going to hurt Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis is going to survive. Derek Lewis is going to swarm him and get a knockout. Tell me you haven't seen that before. All right. That's my pick. I'm big on Derek Lewis. He's one of my favorite heavyweights. Maybe he is my favorite heavyweight in the UFC right now, unless all the Pride guys are gone. Daukaus I like. I really like him. He's exciting and everything, but I just, I picked against him last time. He proved me wrong, and now I want my revenge. No, whatever. I'm taking Lewis straight up. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Belal Muhammad. I've got Wonderboy winning a decision. Do I even need to explain this? You can imagine how Wonderboy wins a decision there. I just think Belal Muhammad, despite his versatility, he lacks the wrestling and grappling prowess to win a fight against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. You know, Gilbert Burns is a different fighter than Belal Muhammad. Belal Muhammad, while he's not just a striker, he's a striker, and he's going to be outstruck. I'm like wheezing every time I forget it. Whatever. Amanda Lemos versus Angela Hill. I am taking Angela Hill via decision. That's my pick. I think Amanda Lemos could be the next big thing, and she's got to prove me wrong here. She's a huge underdog. Angela Hill's a huge underdog. Lemos is a big favorite. I think you should bet on Angela Hill. I think you should play the decision prop, which shouldn't be that much higher than the money line, although it probably will be. I think Angela Hill can follow in Leslie Smith's footsteps, despite, like I said, that being a totally different fight. Angela Hill has everything it takes. She's good on the inside, good on the outside. She's just, she's got to put it all together. She's got to put it all together. It's all got to go right against Amanda Lemos. And I also think Amanda Lemos will hurt Angela Hill. I don't think she'll rock her or knock her out. But Angela Hill's going to know she's outgunned power-wise. And it's going to be up to her as a seasoned fighter to implement tactics either on the outside or the inside, where she's winning some sort of a battle, a jousting battle or a battle in the clinch. I think she's got the Muay Thai to get it done in the clinch, rough her up, kind of like Leslie Smith did. And I hope I'm not wrong, but I'm betting on Angela Hill. What do you want from me? Assuncao versus Ricky Simón. I'm taking Ricky Simón via decision. I want to say it'll be largely striking, and I don't think either chin will fail, although if someone's does, it's probably Assuncao. Just he's getting older. Well, he's been old for like 20 years, but he's getting really old now. And Ricky Simón is not. That's a young, fresh fighter with a gas tank the size of fucking whatever the fuck. And he's going to be trouble for Rafael Assuncao, especially in round 3. Assuncao's a guy who's tamed many good fighters over the last few years, his whole career. But I just see this being one of those fights where a corner has been turned, and he is over the hill. I don't know. Turn the corner, then go down the hill, whatever. You figure it out. That's my pick, Ricky Simón via decision. Carlos Diego Ferreira versus Mateusz Gamrot. By the way, maybe sprinkle a little bit on Ricky Simón in round 3. Just throwing it out there. $5 couldn't hurt. Mateusz Gamrot versus CDF, Carlos Diego Ferreira. Carlos Diego Ferreira is probably my favorite lightweight. May not be true, but I think it is. I like Beneil Dariush too, but Carlos Diego Ferreira is my guy. And he ironically lost to Beneil Dariush last year, February 6th. It was my birthday. And now here we are almost a year later, and he's taken on Mateusz Gamrot, who is one of the top prospects in the division. And when I say prospect, I don't mean like, yeah, this kid's got something. He's already got 20 plus fights. He's a bona fide fighter, and I don't worry about anything with him. But my pick is Carlos Diego Ferreira via decision. Bear in mind, he's one of my favorite fighters. I just think he's one of those anti-wrestler spider webs who's just really tough to wrangle and control on the ground and really tough to outstrike. I think he's going to bust Mateusz Gamrot up. He's going to make this ugly, and especially on the ground, it's going to be ugly. Well, although being very pretty at the same time. I love watching, like even his fight with Gregor Gillespie. That was amazing to watch. That was like almost unanimously considered beautiful to watch. That was excellent on the ground. And then his gas tank busted wide open, and we saw what happened. Could happen there. I would definitely sprinkle a little bit on Gamrot round 3. But I'm taking Diego Ferreira to win a decision here. I think it'll be Gamrot surviving. That's what I have in my head. Elkins versus Cub Swanson. Darren Elkins, my favorite fighter. I'm taking Darren Elkins via decision. Could see him winning a rear naked choke with a rear naked choke too, deep in the 4th or 5th minute of round 2 or 3. But Cub Swanson's really tough to put away. He's been submitted like it was nothing by Renato Moicano and like it was everything versus Frankie Edgar and also Ricardo Lemos back in the day, and also fucking Jens Pulver, the guillotine, but or whatever that was. Yeah, it was a guillotine. I think this will be Cub Swanson's fight, certainly in round 1. Darren Elkins really has to get a takedown. He can't win this fight on the feet, although I'd love to be proven wrong there. I just don't think Cub's chin will fail him, and I don't think Darren Elkins is within the realm of possibility. I don't think it's within the realm of possibility for Elkins to win a decision on the feet against Cub Swanson. He's a better version of Nate Landwehr, even though Elkins won that fight against Landwehr, but still. Could be interesting if Swanson is winning, leading the dance and winning. He could put Elkins away. Elkins, it's not like he's just got an iron chin. He's got an iron heart or whatever. But his chin has failed him. He's been rocked multiple times. Ryan Hall, Volkanovski, whoever. Even Garagori, Edwin Garagori. But Elkins has that recovery time. He's just in such great shape. If he doesn't go down, he's going to get up. Well, if he doesn't go out, he's going to get up. If you put him down, whatever the fuck. You get it. Gerald Meerschaert versus Dustin Stolzfous. I'm taking Meerschaert to win via submission in round 2 or 3. I think it'll be an interesting fight for a round, and then, Meerschaert really imposes his will and his size, which he's going to have in this fight, and Stolzfous will fade. That's just my prediction. I don't think Stolzfous has what it takes to fill the hole of Meerschaert's game. Meerschaert's been knocked out, obviously, a few times in the last few years. Ian Heinisch and Hamzat Chimaev. I don't think Stolzfous has a right hand like that to put him out. So I'm thinking Meerschaert survives, kind of tames his opponent, and gets a submission. Raoni Barcelos versus Victor Henry. Taking Barcelos via decision. Victor Henry, I'm expecting him to kind of just be outgunned everywhere, but also be, he'll be reduced to fighting to survive because he's out of shape. I don't think he trusts his... I'm not even saying he's out of shape. I'm just saying he's potentially out of shape, taking this fight on short notice. He's really tough to put away. Fought a lot of great fighters, only lost to really good fighters and was never stopped. Barcelos, I could see him getting a late finish, but I'm expecting him to just tame Victor Henry early and then beat him into survival mode and win a decision. Justin Tafa, first heavyweight ever to miss weight. He fucking missed weight. You said he couldn't do it. I said, give him a shot. He'll fucking miss weight. And he missed weight. Look what happened. That never happened between us, but still. I'm a big Tafa fan now that he missed weight. That's what this heavyweight division needed. This fight sucks. Tafa versus Hunsucker. It's the worst fight on the card, but it's a heavyweight slugfest. I'm taking Tafa via knockout in round 1. I'm hoping Hunsucker wins via knockout in round 2. We'll see what happens. All right. Sijara Eubanks versus Melissa Gatto. I don't know. I'm betting on Melissa Gatto, to be frank. I'm betting on Melissa Gatto. Look, Sijara Eubanks, despite what she looks like when she fights, she's a jiu-jitsu black belt. She's really good with jiu-jitsu, and theoretically, she's not going to be tapped by Melissa Gatto. So, I guess the right play here would be Sijara via decision. But I'm really high on Melissa Gatto in the world of possibilities from welcoming a fighter into the UFC who has defeated Carol Hossa inside of 1 round with a Kimura. I'm betting on Melissa Gatto. So the pick, ostensibly, is Sijara Eubanks via decision. The bet will be on Melissa Gatto and the under, which should be pretty good odds. Charles Jourdain versus Andre Ewell. My pick and bet is Jourdain via knockout in round 2 or 3. If you make me choose one, I'll choose round 3. All right? Because I could tell that's what you were thinking. Pick one. Pick one. It's your fucking show here. Yeah, I picked one. Round 3. This guy got really defensive. All right. Raquel Pennington versus Macy Chiasson. Here's an underdog pick for you. I'm taking Chiasson via decision. This fight is at 145. It was changed to 145 from 135, which is interesting. I have no idea how that played out. Your guess is as good as mine, which I guess both of our guesses would be Chiasson said, fuck it, you want to fight at 145? Because I'm a natural 165er, and I don't think I can make the weight. So Chiasson, she's going to be fighting at 145. She's bigger, stronger. That means she's going to be even bigger and even stronger. I think she's only lost one fight that was via decision against Lena Landsberg, in which she was thoroughly out-grappled and out-wrestled. And Pennington just doesn't bring that to the table. I'm taking Macy Chiasson to win via decision. I think she's going to be too much to handle, bring too much physicality, and this is going to be a fight where we see a young gun take out Raquel Pennington. I think this is going to be a pivotal fight in the division, because I'm aware of that as a pick not being too great. Pennington is that test you have to pass, and only a few fighters have beaten her, since she's been an established UFC fighter. Amanda Nunes, Jermaine Durandamy, Holly Holm a few times. But her recent losses are only to great fighters. And I think we're going to find out Macy Chiasson is a great fighter. Really hoping it comes together for her and we see a dominant performance. Nothing against Rocky. Usually I would be rooting against the youngster and with the veteran. But I'm high on Macy Chiasson. Again, if this fight was changed for the reasons I think it was, then kind of puts a damper on the celebration here, but still, I'm high on her as a fighter and a prospect, and I think this is going to be a pivotal fight in the division. Dontel Mays versus Josh Parisienne. I've got Dontel Mays winning decision. This one I'm not really solid on either way. I do like Josh Parisienne. He's faded in the past, although Dontel Mays is no Michel Batista, I think that's who he fought. But on The Ultimate Fighter, Josh Parisienne, years ago. But this fight is a fight between, unlike Tafa and Hunsucker, the other heavyweight fight, these guys are both really tough. Really, really fucking tough. Tough to put away. And it's going to be more than a sloppy brawl. I think this is going to go 3 rounds. Bet on the over. And I just think Dontel will have more in the end than Josh Parisienne. He'll win round 3. Matt Sayles versus Jourdain Leavitt. I'm picking Jourdain Leavitt to win via decision. Matt Sayles has a lot of nice attributes as a fighter, but he's inconsistent in weight too. He's a guy who's fought below, and now he's moving up. And Jourdain Leavitt is, I want to say he's going to be the bigger fighter. And where he couldn't impose his grappling on like Puelas, he'll be able to impose his grappling here. Maybe not in round 1, but if this fight hits round 2 and certainly in round 3, Jourdain Leavitt I expect to be the dominant grappler. I hope this fight plays out with some exciting exchanges and somebody getting hurt in one way or another. But I would also settle for a submission, really either way. But still, the pick is Jourdain Leavitt via boring decision. All right. So again, let me go through the bets. I'll just wrap this up by giving you guys my best bets. I'm picking Derek Lewis to win the main event via knockout. It will be a comeback. I don't know where the fuck you bet on the live odds and whatever, but if you have any access to live odds, you may want to wait till after round 1 to bet on Derek Lewis. Got him at 2,400 instead of 200 to win via knockout, I'm saying, which I don't even know if it's 200, but it's something lower and more natural like that. But my point is I expect him to get his ass kicked before he gets a knockout. So keep that in mind. Darren Elkins via decision. Again, I'm betting with my heart here. This is my favorite fighter in the UFC, so I find a way for him to win every fight. I convinced myself he was going to beat Volkanovski. And I'm still walking around like he took a round from Volkanovski, even though I know in my heart he didn't. But still, I'm betting on Darren Elkins to win. This is much more of a reasonable fight. Cub Swanson here. And this is not prime Cub Swanson. I don't think it's prime Darren Elkins either, but I think Darren Elkins is closer to his prime, and all he's got to do is get 2 takedowns here. He might have to attempt 20 takedowns, but he's got to get 2, and I'm thinking he'll get it done. I'm more certain of Gerald Meerschaert winning via submission in round 2 or 3. That's something I think you should bet on. And again, Macy Chiasson via decision. I would just bet on Macy Chiasson. I just have it in my head she's going to knock out everybody with a fucking knee to the body. But yeah, that's my pick. I think Macy's physicality and strength will play a big role in this fight. And at the very least, I could see her physicality and strength taking round 1. Raquel Pennington is, she's no spring chicken. But the other side to that coin is there's a lot of experience there. And she's a girl who can handle herself and compose herself in the middle of the fight, knowing that she's going to get it done in the end, or she's going to be the better fighter in round 3. Which, again, this fight may play out like that. I just don't see Raquel being able to impose her game plan, or impose Lena Landsberg's game plan, follow that blueprint. I see Macy Chiasson winning this fight. I think it's going to be pivotal. That's my bet. Also sprinkle a little bit on Angela Hill via decision. Angela Hill, you should get really good odds there. She's a big underdog. I can't say she's going to win the fight, but I can say I'm going to bet on her because she's being undervalued. Can't wait to take that one back afterwards. And Charles Jourdain to win via second round or third round knockout. The odds may not be too great there, especially round 3 knockout. Look, if you watch Andre Ewell fight, you have to bet against him in round 3 in just about every fight. It's worth $5. Just as it is for Andrew Sanchez. You always want to sprinkle a little bit against Andrew Sanchez to lose in round 3. All right, those are my picks. Those are my bets, and this is my bathrobe. Thank you for checking this out. You guys have been fucking great, and I know I'm speaking to really one subscriber. You've been great, whoever the fuck you are. Tell your friends. Tell everybody. There's a great little MMA show. A guy in his dilapidated apartment hating his fucking life. All right, thank you.